Chapter 6. Hey guys, can you find me the strong creature to test my fruit? I asked the numerous trees around me. Well, I suggest great apes, Damien boy. They are known to be quite aggressive yet battle-driven. They enjoy fighting their peers and proving their strength to impress the lady apes. Bill suggests. Strong. They are. Careful. You must be. Yoda gives his 2 cents. Show 'em who's boss bro. Josh adds. Aratilda Oni-san is rooting for you, Damien-kun. Like a child who just got a new Lego set to build, naturally, I want to get to it right away. Great apes A. Where can I find them? I ask all of them. South. You must go. Prepared. You should be. A wise yet aged voice answered. Follow the southern trails and you shall reach their domain, be careful boy. A while later. I am standing on the slightly damp grass and I peer at the forest before me. The trees seem to be marked by scratches, though not the wild kind, but rather like a tally score from a game. The evening sun was bathing the green forest in light as I made my way forward. I walked a few minutes forward as I checked the surroundings for any movement. Crunch. The sound of a branch snapping is heard as I look to the left and find an open area with wild grass growing about. It was almost a perfect circle with trees around the perimeter. Hoo-hee-ha-hoo. That is what I heard as a black flash dropped before me, near the center of the giant clearing. A 20-foot-tall gorilla, practically a mini King Kong, stood before me. Its dark-colored fur was laced with dried blood, though it had a rather odd expression on its face. I think it's mocking me. I may be a kid but I can still kick your ass you damn monkey. I mock him back. Hoo-hee-hoo-ha. It yelled as he beat his chest like a drum. Third paw. A giant gorilla and a tall youth stood face to face with a 40-meter gap between them. The gorilla roared in fury and rushed forward with great momentum while cracking a frightening grin. Damien, who was flashing his own grin, also began to run forwards. The gorilla wasted no time and raised his right arm and formed a fist, then brought it down upon the boy. Damien easily read the attack and sidestepped, shooting 5 meters to the right. Boom. The fist slammed the ground, leaving a small crater. Damien squatted down and propelled himself 10 feet into the air. The boy then formed a fist, one glowing with a red glow seeping out. The gorilla turned to the side and used his left arm to receive the blow. It clenched its fist and shot it forwards, aiming at the boy who was doing the same. The fists came towards it each. The ape's giant fist greatly overshadowed the boy's fist, though the result wasn't what was expected if seen from afar. Boom. The 2 fists collided as a small shockwave was sent out, echoing through the tranquil forest, blasting the falling leaves away. R-A-A-A-A-A-A-W-R. The ape yelled in pain as its left arm was pushed back, bleeding heavily. Grr. It growled menacingly as it raised its right hand straight up and brought it down upon Damien. Damien then slammed his foot to the ground and launched himself forwards, dodging the attack while nearing the ape's chest. All crush. He yelled as his glowing left fist slammed upon the ape, dead center of its chest. R-R-R-A-A-A-A-W-R-R. The ape yelled as it was sent flying back and crashed on the trees, bulldozing through to an eventual stop. Hoo-ha-hee. It made a few despairing sounds as it shut its eyes forever, dead. Damien went over to check and found the ape with a heavily bleeding chest, pouring a stream of blood to the dry grass below. Damien paw. I looked at the dead ape in front of me and studied its injuries. Other than the copious amounts of blood leaking, it also seemed like its internal organs were utterly crushed. The intestines were also sliding out as there was nothing keeping them in place. Shards of bones could be seen as bits and pieces of them were laid out in the mess of red. The ribs were broken apart, almost forming cuboid shapes, causing all the insides to flow out with the blood. The result was quite satisfactory. Unlike the tree I crushed before, this time I added the fruit power to go with my momentum, to greatly increase the amount of damage and the intensity of the wounds. Not bad indeed. I then summarize my fruit so far. From what I have seen, imbuing the pulverizing energy to my casual attacks gives it a lot more damage output and leaves behind far more terrible wounds. I should also be able to use my pulverizing powers to send out attacks like Whitebeard does with his tremors. Other than that, using my ability, I should be able to nullify fruit attacks from opponents and easily destroy large amounts of land. But all this comes with control. I nodded as I heard a voice in my head. Nice work, Damien. You're one step closer to the peak. Sybil complimented. Hee hee. Thanks, Sybil. Don't think too much of it. I am obliged to compliment you whenever you finish a task. It's boring to input all those annoying notifications, so whenever you hear me praise you, just take it as a hint for you to claim some quests that have been completed, she said with an as a matter of fact tone. Quote. Show me the completed quests then, I tell her as I make my way out from this section of the forest. Coming up. Quest log. Reach Paradise Pirate level 3/4, 5 rewards. 1000 check mark, 1400-1900 in system points. Eat a devil fruit. Rewards. 3000 SP. Seastone pendant helps to slowly build immunity to seastone attacks completed. My strength broke through as well, eh? I ask out loud. Though your fruit control is abysmal, it is granted that your overall strength will rise due to your new abilities. She replied. Very well, claim them all. I request. 2 quests complete. Rewards. 4000 SP, Seastone Pendant X1. At the moment of the notification, a small pendant appeared in my hand and I immediately felt weakened just by holding it. Seastone Pendant. When worn, it will increase your seastone resistance over time. For now, I will put it in my inventory as I rather use it while training and not right now. Display my stats please. Roger. Ina D. Damien. Age. 7. Height. 5 feet 5. Status. Healthy. Strength. Paradise Pirate level 3 Mr. 1 greater than Damien. Devil Fruit. Pulverize fruit, low basic mastery. Skills. Disease immunity. Rapid regeneration 2 superhuman vitality. Enhanced senses. Nature talk 3 persona, I fruit sensor I concentrated breathing active. Points balance. 5400 SP. I have a lot of points ready and my skills are quite low. Sybil, what's the upgrade rate in terms of tiers for abilities? I ask. Tier 2 abilities cost 100 SP, to upgrade it further costs 500 SP, then 1000 SP, then 1600 SP. I see. Upgrade my nature talk and rapid regeneration to the highest level possible. I'll be spending the next half-decade or so in the forest. It is imperative that I increase my skills in terms of nature and healing as I like soloing work. Skill Nature Talk 3 has upgraded to Nature Talk, max plus 2600 SP deducted. Skill Rapid Regeneration 2 has upgraded to Rapid Regeneration, IV 1600 SP deducted. Remaining balance 1000 SP. Skill Nature Talk max Nature is your home. The plants will feed you, the trees will shelter you, the flowers will welcome you. Allows you to manipulate nature greatly. Allows you to converse with land animals. Skill Rapid Regeneration IV all injuries heal at an incredible speed. Limbs that have been cut off can reconnect over some time. Fatal injuries can be healed. Broken bones will mend quickly. Overall cellular regeneration has almost reached superhuman levels. I nod with satisfaction as I go over my new abilities. Right away I can feel my nature attunement reach many levels higher. I can essentially mold nature to my will. Though a great boon is my ability to speak with animals. Help a lot for information gathering and scouting. One thing stumps me, however. Sybil, that plus icon, can my nature talk be evolved? I ask seeing the plus symbol. Indeed, she replied. This is the next stage of the skill. Stage 2. 1 with nature, gain the ability to. With Sea Kings. Increase favorability to all simple-minded living things. Evolution cost. 1000 SP. Wow, I can talk to Sea Kings. I bet if they're friendly I can easily get a ride, it will be useful for later on. I conclude as I go over the description. Is there a stage 3? I take a stab in the dark. Indeed, she answers as the description changes. Stage 3. Voice of all things, allows you to. With all sentient things including animals, sword spirits and poneglyphs. Evolution cost. 5000 SP. Quote. Voice of all things. That's what Roger has. He will use it to find Raftel via the road poneglyphs. That's significantly rarer than Conqueror's Hockey. A.N. Canon Conqueror's Hockey user. 16. Known vote users. 4. If you are finished drooling, then here is the final stage following this one. Final stage. Ancient voice. Gives. Over low intelligence animals of land, sea and air. Weak-willed humans will be. By your words. Zone users might face stronger effects. Stronger-willed humans will face. Effect by your voice. Evolution cost. 25,000 SP. Quote. Damn. I utter. Control all animals, birds and sea kings. That's practically an upper version of the ancient weapon, Poseidon. I can't help but shout out loud. Also compels weak-willed humans. Is this like that Jedi mind control thing from Star Wars? I've always wanted to do that. Wow. Ahem, perhaps I should remind you that your points balance is quite far from such a stage. Sybil interrupted my fanboy moment. Yeah, whatever. But you have a point. I need more SP, and the best way to do that is by training. Sighing over my limited balance, I relax my body and go over my plan for the future. Train body. Train fruit mastery. Become more familiar with fruit. Practice on monsters. Gain more battle experience. Repeat. Get 4 ancient voice ASAP. Gaining the ability of an ancient weapon is absurd on its own, let alone the voice of all things. Definitely something I will need for the future. I am also alone on this island, as in without allies or backup. So gaining the ability to mold the environment is surely a must-have, and it will definitely be key to avenging my mother. With that in mind, I returned to my original little home I had been living in and resumed my training. And time flew by as 5 years passed. The following is excluded from word count. Author's Corner. Alright, so, ancient voice. I wanted him to have his own unique power that he can be known for. Of course, it is op. Do recall it only affects sea kings, animals, and weaker humans. It won't interrupt his major fights with Yonko class or anything, so I don't see it as a huge cheat but rather a convenience. Though if you think about it, the year is 1477 and the age before the era of pirates, one that is far stronger than the current anime timeline. Other than that, he can't really use it openly. I mean until he has reached the level of Yonko or so at least. Imagine if the government found out about Shirahoshi and her link with Poseidon, they would literally raze the entire kingdom to the ground if that is what it took to get their hands onto an ancient weapon. He will use this later once he is strong enough to protect it, but for now, it is a casual use for spying, info gathering, scouting, and transportation. As for his control over nature, it's like a secondary devil fruit, but it also stems from the idea of his mother always being with him and helping him out. Chapter 7. Within the humid forest is a lone boy. His face was rather young, but his height eclipsed most his age. His face was quite handsome, his long black hair danced in the evening wind. The red strands on hair that shined bright from the orange sun only adding to his visual charm. His eyes were closed shut, hiding their crimson glow. He was busy finishing his daily exercises. 99,997. 99,998. 99,999. 100,000. He has finally concluded his daily push-up counts. His daily workouts had clearly shaped his body, one with compact and dense muscles, brimming with great power. Not overly bulky, but not too slender. Lean and powerful. Era Damien Kuhn, you have grown up to be quite the lady killer. Alice the orange tree proclaimed. Strong, you have become. Begin, your journey should, Yoda commented. Not bad boy, you have truly blossomed from the little brat you were. Bill said. Nice work bro, Bob said. Damien Pav. 5 years have passed since I ate my devil fruit. I am now 13 years old, but earth-wise I am far taller than most humans in general. My strength has greatly increased. My devil fruit control, though a lot better than before, is still lacking. Sybil, display my stats, I ask with a confident tone. As you wish Damien. Ina D. Damien. Age. 13. Height. 7 feet 9. Status. Healthy. Strength. Yonko crew apprentice pirate Damien approximately equals Enel. A.N. Enel was actually quite powerful. Even if you had basic armament, and if he wasn't an idiot, he could easily destroy you. Devil fruit. Pulverize fruit, peak basic mastery. Seastone resistance. 29%. Skills. Disease immunity, rapid regeneration, max superhuman vitality, enhanced senses, one with nature, new persona, I, fruit sensor, 3 concentrated breathing, passive primitive rokushiki art, new. Points balance. 4,300 SP. Less than rewards pending from completed quests greater than. 5 years. I went from Paradise Pirate, level 3, to Yonko Crew Apprentice Pirate. Pretty good if I do say so myself. My points. I have bought a few things and evolved my nature talk. But in 5 years I only gained a net of 4,300 points from early breakthroughs. I nod at my results. Though Luffy went from meh to damn in 2 years, it was mostly due to Rayleigh's guidance and majorly because of hockey. Your damage output practically triples with hockey. I have also achieved passive mode for my breathing skill, every breath is powerful and invigorates all my muscles. Another thing was that I also made the primitive version of the rokushiki art from the Marines. Though it isn't perfected, it isn't hard to mimic. As for how I trained them. Primitive rokushiki training. Soru. Kicking the air very hardly to shave your way a short distance nearby. Shigen. Manipulating the air around your fingers and learning how to condense it. Kami-e. Cut off the flight or flight response and let your body loosen up to allow you to float like paper and gently dodge attacks due to simple laws of physics. Tekai. Requires good control over muscles and tendons of the body. Quite easy for me as I did something similar to achieve my breathing form. Rankyaku. Same idea as Shigen. Wrapping air around your legs and learning how to direct it through centripetal force laws. Geppo. Combination of Shigen and Soru. Using Shigen to gather a large pocket of air beneath my feet, and then use Soru to pop it to step on air. Soru. Shave Shigen. Finger bullet Tekai. Iron body Kami-e. Paper draw Rankyaku. Tempest kick Geppo. Moon step. And with that, I had unlocked my primitive rokushiki art. All I need now is to see the actual and complete form to see my flaws, allowing me to use it fully. Another weird thing that happened over the 7 years was that my voice box had a bit of an odd change. Not that of simple growth to deepen the voice but something else. The airflow slightly alters when I laugh, causing a weird tick in my laughter. I have no clue how it works but I don't really mind it as it doesn't really do much else. Your progress has been quite impressive. Sybil complimented. Wait that your little hint thing again isn't it? I ask recalling the last time she complimented me. How perceptive you are, Damien, she says. Quote. Show me the completed quests already woman. Hi. Quest log. Reach Paradise Pirate level 4/5 rewards. 1400 check mark, 1900 check mark in system points. Reach Yonko Crew Apprentice Pirate. Rewards. 4000 SP completed. Enter second stage of the Strength Index rewards. 5000 SP. Fruit into item guide. Shows you how to feed a devil fruit to an inanimate object completed. Hoo boy. Very nice numbers I'm seeing here. I nodded with great vigor. Claim them all Sybil dear. I grin. Don't get cocky, she says as a screen appears before me. 4 quests complete. Rewards. 12,300 SP, fruit into item guide. I said to myself as I toss the book into my inventory. Time for some upgrades I need. Sybil, show me available upgrade. One with nature, can be evolved to voice of all things for 5,000 SP. Enhanced senses can be evolved to basic hockey, for 1000 SP. Fruit sensor, and persona, can also be upgraded for a varying amount. The report concluded. Going over her words I come to a decision. Evolve both the skills you mentioned, hold off on the other upgrades though, I say to her. Affirmative. One with nature, greater than, voice of all things converse with all sentient things including animals, sword spirits and poneglyphs. Enhanced senses greater than basic observation hockey and basic armament hockey, learn how to mold and direct hockey to use as a sixth sense and also to coat your body. 6,000 SP deducted. Remaining balance. 10,600 SP. At the sound of her voice, I feel a few changes. Firstly, the voices. Before I could hear the living nature, flowers, trees, grass. Now, I can hear everything. The rocks, the air, the sunlight, the oxygen. They all speak. They all feel. I can hear them. I can hear everything. This is annoying. I complain as my head is aching with the sounds of literally everything around me. It's so loud. Like Momo and Luffy's reaction to the voice on Zoe. Fuck. This hurts. I yell while covering my ears. I keep groaning as eventually, the voice slowly died down. 30 minutes go by as I finally open my eyes, laced with exhaustion. Phew. I sigh out loud. I can somewhat choose what I hear. I only need to focus on an inanimate object to hear them. As for the living, well, they can choose to speak whenever. Cracking my neck, I then feel another hidden force seeping out from my heart. It was as if I could feel another sense. Not like any of my other senses. It was like I could feel the world from my mind. I closed my eyes for a better picture. I concentrated a bit and felt it. I could feel things within a 5-meter or so radius. The wind blowing, the grass swaying, the sound waves echoing lightly. After a while, a voice brings me out of my stupor. Nice work unlocking the 2 of the 3 types of hockey, Damien. Sybil says, surprising, lacking the sarcastic tone. Thinking about her words, I then try something else. A warm current flows out from my heart as I try to direct it. I feel the warmth pass my nerves and muscles as it continues to flow like a river to my left arm. It reaches its destination, and then I feel something. It was like wearing very thin metal. It was weightless, yet heavy. It was hard, yet soft. Armament hockey. How odd it feels to coat your limbs with this stuff. Though it is the good kind of odd. My arm wasn't the cold shiny black you'd want, but rather a dull gray in a shaky state. I walk over and lightly punch a nearby tree. Boom. A loud bang is produced as a circular hole is left behind on the tree's trunk. Not bad, I comment. My basic strength can triples with hockey imbuement, when done properly. Well done, Damien. You have reached the peak of your current stage. Keep at it, Sybil once again says with an honest tone. Sybil, you okay? You sounded quite sincere for a second. I ask her. Sigh, you are selling yourself short. You should be proud. There aren't many who can say that they learned hockey at age 13. You have already taken a big step to your goal. I am happy for you. She says. Proud, eh? I guess so. No, you're right. I should be proud. I nod. 5 years of hard work got me here. Compared to myself before, the one who couldn't even protect my own mother. Quote question mark 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 dot question mark question mark question mark question mark dot quote. Her voice echoes in my mind as I squint my eyes. Say, Sybil, you have been mapping this island, right? I ask with a serious tone. Indeed, even from when I was dormant, everywhere you have been, has been recorded. She replies neutrally. Good. I nod in satisfaction. Plan the route back to the tribe settlement. I think it's time to avenge my beloved mother. I say with an indifferent expression, all the while a scary glint passes through my eyes. Affirmative. Route planned. Follow the light. At her words, a red light shoots up in the far end of the forest. It was like a beacon from Minecraft, one that only I could see. I give a small smirk as I envision their faces once they see just how much a demon I can be. FWOOO. I blast forwards with great speed while jumping branch to branch. My anger was boiling as I remembered the 60 or so voices that were present upon Mom's death. My anger started to radiate as the plants and trees heard my call, removing obstacles and clearing the path. Step, step, step. I whiz by the forest, quickly approaching my destination until I land on a rather tall tree, one that could oversee the settlement before me. It was a large village. Probably 3,500 people. It was shaped like a donut. There was a wall on the outer edges, around 20 meters high. The main population lived in the outer circle, whereas the chief's house was located at the core in an open, stone field, near the hospital. I spend a few minutes instilling this scene to memory. After all, I may have gotten a lot stronger, I still have never killed anyone before. I keep squatting, my knees were pointing out while my hands rested upon the tree itself. Exactly like Itachi did in his youth. My eyes glow crimson as I see and remember the ones responsible for my mother's death. Close off all their escape routes, I say lightly. Got it, Damien. Roger. Hi. On it. As you wish, Tilda. Trapped, they are. Done. Tens of voices confirm as the nearby trees, flowers, and grass do as I command. And quite the spectacle it was. The tribesmen continued their daily life as all around them grew a boundary, a wall of nature, trapping them within. An eerie silence entered my ears as I ready myself for something I never thought I'd ever do. Quote question mark 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 comma question mark 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 quote. A gentle voice enters my ear as I take a deep breath in. Everyone has changed. That's not it. The one who's changed most is me. A small smile erupts on my face as I say in a calm and indifferent voice. Let the slaughter begin. Author's Corner. Rokushiki is not a type of hockey, but it's the ability to reach the peak of human strength by taking your body to the absolute maximum without any fruit powers or outside aid. So it makes sense you can train something similar by simply pushing your body in the same direction as the 6 arts. Chapter 8. Laron Pav. Luke, how'd the wheat production going? I asked my advisor. So far we can expect a 46% increase in yield this year. I don't know why, but it seems like there are fewer and fewer beasts out there. He answers. Well, it doesn't matter why or how, I just hope it continues for years to come. I laugh merrily. Indeed, Chief, Perry is still having trouble with the food distribution. My left-hand man, Joshua, said as he entered my office. It's been 13 years already. How is she still struggling with it? I yell in frustration. Well, ever since she left, the tribesmen have been a bit more solemn and irritated nowadays. He says. Nadia died because of her own stupidity. They should know that by now. I roar back in frustration. But still, she was someone many relied on during the dry decade. Some still don't believe in her choice to protect the demon. Joshua said. Che, who is it? Someone is definitely behind this, so who do you think it is? I asked him. Joshua squints his eyes a bit. Probably Lennolds. He always had a thing for Nadia, even after that fiend bewitched her into having a child. I furrow my brows after hearing this. It's been 13 years since she left the tribe. Bring Lennolds, we'll execute him in front of the others. It's about time we put this behind us. Joshua gives a solemn nod as we walk out. 30 minutes later, 3,200 tribesmen stand before me, their silver hair reflecting the light from the shining sun. I walk up to the wooden stage and bring Lennolds behind me. He had a bag on his, hiding his identity. Everyone, today I come to you to execute a blasphemer. He, 7 years ago, was the one responsible for our beloved Nadia's death. Today, it all comes to an end. The demon lover shall be killed for justice. I, as the chief of. Boom. A loud sound echoes through the settlement as the people before me lose focus from my words. What the hell was that? I yell out loud, pissed that someone dared to interrupt me. The people too started murmuring as my lackey ran up with a nervous expression. Chief, we have invaders from the west gate. He yelled with fear. Nani, those damn demons are invading now. Speak. How many are there? I questioned the boy who looked like he was going to piss himself. There's only one. At the west gate. Damien Pav. I walked towards the large gate at the west end of the settlement. Step, step, step. I am just 2 feet away from the thick, cold stone wall as I release a bit of my pulverizing energy from my body as the entire section of stone before me is blown to pieces. Boom. Thousands upon thousands of cube-shaped pieces of stones blew in all directions as a giant portion of the wall went missing. And I just kept walking, all the while the countless cuboid pieces of stone rained down upon the empty road. Step, step, step. I continued my little walk, not too fast, not too slow. The same pace my mother kept as she gracefully left from this exact gate 13 years ago. Step, step, step. I kept walking as the first herd of silver-haired nuisances arrived. There were about 50 of them, each had some cold weapons, spears, daggers, swords. Demon. We, LL kill you demon. End him. For SHIROGUMO Sama. They yelled their feeble war cries as they ran towards me. I stopped in the middle of the street. The guards were about 30 meters away, approaching fast. I slightly tilt my head to the side as I think of what to use. Over the 5 years I trained, naturally I had made a few named moves, each for their own occasions. Crush was simply pulverizing whatever I was touching. Worked well for objects at rest like walls, gates, and hills. Perhaps that will be fitting. I mutter to myself as I lift my left hand and point it towards the oncoming mob, palm out. I squint my eyes a bit as I concentrate my pulverizing energy to my palm. The warm flow of energy is guided to my palm as it starts glowing an eerie red as the air around it starts shaking. Raging stream. As the words leave my mouth, the crimson energy on my palm blasts forth with incredible momentum, ripping, shredding, and utterly destroying anything to everything in its path. The stream of red, around 10 feet in diameter, keeps raging forwards as it encounters its first victim. He couldn't even finish his words as he ended up exploding into a mist of blood and bones. As for the others, help. AAAUUUHHHH. EUUGHHH. Cries of pain erupt as the entire group of guards was completely annihilated. Limbs, heads, torsos, littered in the silent street as only one sound remains, echoing through at a melodious pace. Step, step, step. I walk forwards, keeping my earlier speed. The ground before me, well, all that's left is a devastated road, one with blood flowing like a stream. The gentle wind assaulted my face as I kept walking with my indifferent attitude. Looking at the carnage only left a satisfied expression on my face. Essentially put, I coated my palm with crush energy and solidified it. Then filled the underneath of the solid layer with tons more fluid energy. The outer layer, reaching its max volume, bubbled up as more and more energy gathered, just waiting to escape outwards. All I needed to do then was to remove the outer layer instantaneously, causing all the energy trapped below to blast forwards, leaving behind a trail of utter destruction. Simple laws of pressure. Yawn. These guys are so damn slow. I complain as I get close to the center of the village. Seems like some sort of gathering. No wonder I didn't see a soul up until here, I comment with a frown. Perhaps some sort of social event. Sybil says. I continue to yawn in boredom as sounds of hasty movements pick up while many guards run over. Finally, I sigh out loud as I get encircled. Around 400 of them. Well, either way, these guys are so indecisive, they keep waiting for their pals to step up, but their pals are doing the same. So in the end, no one really does anything. Demon. You killed our people. Burn blasphemer. FWWOOOO. Dozens of arrows are shot towards me as they whiz on from all directions. Yawn. I give out an overexaggerated yawn as the arrows reach their mark. Clatter. And they fall onto the ground, either stopped by my skin or simply by bouncing off it. My superhuman vitality upgraded everything from inside to outside. In other words, not only did my muscles and bones strengthen but also my skin. Therefore I am practically bulletproof. Arrows keep coming and they keep bouncing off at the surprise of the archers. This act causes them to subconsciously take a step back as they gaze at me with a frightened expression. The dark arts, some utter, Truly, a demon. We should kill him immediately. Another says. Hearing their words I can't help but be offended. It's like finishing a super long exam and getting perfect marks then being called out for cheating. I worked hard for that. Ha, dark arts. Don't group me up with those bunch of losers who have to rely on some foolish ritual for strength. I scoff at them. Ah, a war cry erupts as a brave, foolish youngster runs forward. Die, demon, he yells as he points his spear out, ready to pierce my chest. Oh, you're approaching me, I asked with a smirk while raising my left palm out to block his incoming spear. Snap. The spear hits the palm and snaps apart. Clatter. The pieces hit the ground as fear envelops the youngling. Brave, yet foolish, I say with an indifferent tone. I tap his chest with my free right index finger as he quivers in fear. Crush. His eyes pop for a second as he then turns red all over. His body seems to divide into rather equal-shaped cubes as they clatter onto the ground, instantly causing fear to flood into the spectator's eyes. Demon. What a monster. Mommy. I look at their fearful expression. I only want Lerone and a few others. The rest of you can live, all you have to do is stand aside. Some express joy, some fear, some anger, and some confusion. We can't allow you to hurt the chief. One yells. He risked his life to exterminate the demons. We won't let you have him. I rather die than let you touch Lerone-sama. Another proclaims out loud. Foolish. I rather not kill, but I am no hero. Stand in my way and I will literally crush you. I resolve myself. These people sat idly by as my mother was barely finding enough food for herself. She even died under their chief's hands. Ignorant they may be, but that doesn't make them innocent. One chance is what I will give them and they rejected. Now they can die. Making up my mind I turn to see that even more of these brain-washed guards have arrived. Heck, even some of the brave citizens joined in after hearing my proclamation to go after their beloved chief. Though at that moment my senses flare as I look towards the stage 60 meters away. A burly man stood tall, while another man knelt on the ground next to him as if he were to be executed. The people around me had reached an astounding 1,000, while another 2,200 were shivering around the podium. Seems like the stories of the black-haired ones are echoing in their minds. My thoughts are disturbed as Lerone begins to speak. It's you, demon. You have grown up. I thought you dead, yet, here you are, he said with a solemn tone. The people murmured upon his words. Demon, spawn of Leonidafu, have you come for your end? He asked with a smirk. The guards around me also tightened their grips on their weapons as they awaited my response and reaction. An eerie silence follows as 6,400 eyes are directed at me. Rahahaha. A laugh is all that is heard as I laugh at his arrogant face. Why you? What's so funny? He roars at me. Lerone, it seems there's a bit of a misconception here. The one who is going die here is not me, but you. I say with a mischievous smile. The people nearby only get more frustrated upon hearing my words. Fool, heathen, demon. The sheep continue insulting. Ha 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 ha. Me, you will kill me. He laughs in mockery. Look around, boy. He turns his head left and right from the podium, gesturing at the thousands of people around me. You have no place to go. No place to run. No way to escape. You are completely surrounded. He finishes with the same arrogant smile still plastered upon his aged face. I study his expression, the same expression one would wear when they feel as if they know everything. Rahaha. Surrounded. A rather frightening smile blooms on my face as my body starts to glow a menacing crimson red. The only thing I'm surrounded by. Is fear. And dead men. Chapter 9. The only thing I'm surrounded by is fear. And dead men. Dropping my Vader shtick I prepare myself for a quick slaughter. My body starts to glow red as I extend both my arms out to the sides, forming a T shape with my body. I send out a flow of pulverizing energy to my hands as you could literally see a red glow travel from my heart to my arms. Grand ripple. A wave of crushing energy ripples out from all sides of my body, pushing and pulverizing everything within a radius of 20 meters. It was similar to Payne's almighty push, focusing on clearing all obstacles in any direction. FWOOO. The air echoes as it too is divided, all the while my attack continues to ripple through. Everyone around me faced two forces. One crushed them to bits through pulverization and pressurization, while the other pushed them back with great momentum. By doing this, the ones closer to me, nearly 400 of them, were blasted into bits and pieces, completely crushed to oblivion as their many body parts splatter on the ground, painting it a warm red. The other 600 who were further away were pushed back with injuries, varying from broken bones to crushed lungs to missing limbs. Grand Ripple is a simple repulse-type attack, fit for encirclements such as these. Ah, it hurts. My leg. Ouch. Eeeuuuuuggh. Chaos ensues as both the guards and citizens are frozen in fear, seeing 1,000 of their silver-headed tribesmen fall onto the ground, blood dyeing their lustrous hair a menacing red. Step, step, step. I continue my walk, my right hand behind my back, all the while my eyes glowed red, reflecting the rivers of blood flowing on the ground. Lerone is the first to break out of his stupor as he sees me casually walk closer and closer to the stage. Kill him, he yells. A few more experienced guards follow suit, encouraging the others as they all run forwards, weapons drawn. Stop now. I only want Lerone and a few others. If you keep coming in my way, I will kill you. I offer them one last chance. Though it was ignored as they kept their speed, running to their own demise. Bunch of fools, I utter in pity. Switching tactics, I send some hockey flowing down my arms as a coating of a rather dull black surrounds my fists. Such weak coating. You can barely even call this armament. I sighed lightly, seeing the weak and dull black on my hands. Bang, boom, bam. Black fists connect with tens of jaws as the guards are sent flying back. 7.15, 0.34, 0.57 feet. Die. A spear rushes forth, nearing my left lower abdomen. Seeing the attack, I contract the muscles in the region, thoroughly locking all gaps in my lower abdomen. Tekai. Iron body. Snap. The spear crumbles as the shaft splits and a black fist greets the attacker's left cheek. He wails as he is sent 40 feet back. Shigan. Finger gun. Phew. Ah. Phew. Ughhh. Phew. EUOOOGHHHH. Compact air bullets whiz out of my fingers, drilling into some unlucky men within the sea of silver. 65.72, 0.84 feet. I continue racing and raising through the horde of guards, making my way to the stage. Damn it, Joshua. Go kill him. Lerone yells in panic. On it. The 40-year-old man jumps into the sky as he clenched his fist, descending with great momentum. Face your end, demon. He cries. The fist flies down and is caught midair without much effort, causing the man to widen his eyes as fear entered his eyes. What a weak punch. I comment with mockery as I drill my right fist into his gut, causing him to cough blood like a fallen wuxia character. Hundreds, no, thousands of bodies lay on the floor. Some groaning, some twitching, some dead. I then jump onto the stage, gazing at the frozen geezer. Though he was a head taller, his expression only showed fear. Your time has come, Lerone. Why you? I should have killed you when I cut down my sister for the greater good, he utters while gritting his teeth. His words cause my eyes to widen as I clench my fists in anger. Sister? So you killed your own sister just because of some absurd legend? You truly are pathetic. I spit out in disgust. He clenches his fists in anger. I would never accept a demon like you to be in our tribe. I smirk, and I would rather die than associate myself, let alone my name, with someone as pathetic as you. I then gaze at the civilians who chose not to run at me. People like you. I gesture at them by shifting my eyes through the masses. You who judge others based on some stupid differences over physical attributes, are nothing but a scourge. To declare someone weak or wrong simply because of difference in skin color, physical deformities or ancestry, or in my case, something as absurd as hair color, you are nothing more than a waste of human flesh. I gaze into Lerone's shaking eyes. It would be a mercy for you to even have the honor to return to the earth at your death, one I refuse to grant you. I grab both his arms and snap them. Crack. Lerone groans as both his arms dangle in the air. I then smash my foot onto his right knee, breaking it as well. Ah, please, stop, he begs. I walk behind him, both of us gaze forth, looking at the few remaining tribesmen. I smile at their expressions, you all shall know pain. I then look down at the chief kneeling before me. Starting with you. I speak slowly as I bring my glowing left hand and place it upon his white-colored head. Crumble. I say softly as a rather thin spark of pulverizing energy flows into his head, squirming through his nervous system. Ah, he thunders in pain. Ah, please. Kill me already. Ah, he continues yelling as he falls to the ground, twitching and shaking in unimaginable pain. I had sent my fruit power through his nervous system, squeezing all the nerves with my crushing powers, yet not enough to overload, just enough to make him go through insufferable pain. Ah. His eyes bulge out as he starts smashing his head onto the ground, hoping for some way to end the pain. The people shiver in fear as they see the display before them. Alas, the energy I sent in finally flows out of him as he lays on the floor, a pitiful display indeed. He had released a smelly fluid from below his waist, his mouth had foam leaking, his eyes were hazy. I grab him by the throat and lift him half a foot from the ground. You are not worth any more of my time, I speak in disgust. Hashi, I called out softly. Rumble. The ground shakes, a large wooden post extends from the broken ground through the stage directly behind me. You called for me, young man. Hashi, the conscience of wood, said as only I heard. I looked at Laron's pitiful expression. I turn my body and look at the wooden post. I then toss the 10-foot-tall chief towards the post. His body lands where directed as the wood warps a little around his wrist and shins, holding him up in a crucified position. Bring out 30 other posts, I tell him. Shake. The ground rumbles once more as 30 identical barks of trees emerge from the ground. I pinpoint the other voices that I recalled from the time they came to my home to kill me and my mother. I made sure not to kill them from my earlier attacks since I wanted them to feel pain. I guess my mother killed half of them before she too fell. They were lucky to have died then and not now. Hashi hears my intentions as he sends out tendrils of wood as they wrap around the 30 people. Wait. No. The men cry out as their backs slam onto the wooden posts, once again in a crucified state. So now there are 30 trees with equal amounts of people strapped upon and they squirm in fear. I have money. Stop please. Ah. I waved my hand as a sharp wooden splinter grows from their respective wooden posts and punctures their larynx, stopping them from screaming. Omnia. Aew. Groans leak from their mouths as they try to voice out their fear, failing to do as they hope. The people kept watching without moving, as they didn't want the same fate. I walked the man who was kneeling from the earlier execution. I took off the cloth in his mouth and looked at his face. You are. He panics a bit then answers in a shaky voice, my name is L. Reynolds. What do you know of Nadia von Daisy? I asked him. Nadia. Why you know her? He questioned back. Of course I know my own mother. Mother. Why you are that child? His face widens in shock. The same child who had his own frail mother cut down by 60 grown men for protecting her own kin. You all are quite pathetic, no? I ask with sarcasm. The man lowers his head. Please. For your mother. Please forgive us for our actions. We were blinded by the olden days and because of it, the woman we all respected was killed. Please forgive us, or, at least the children. I scoff. Don't worry, I only came for these men. I gave everyone a chance to live, and the ones left alive will remain so. The living tribesmen sighed in relief as they looked down in shame after hearing about my mom. Seems like they quite liked her. Of course, her soul was so pure. Too pure. I shake my head with a slight sigh as I look at them once more. I personally want to wipe you all out. They freeze. But, I know that my mother would be disappointed if I killed so many in her name. The children too should not be held guilty for their parents' stupidity. I look at the old man as I finish my words. From now on you are the chief, I tell the man. Reynolds starts tearing up. I hope you can teach your children well, otherwise you will be the cause of your own extinction. My mother, even with her hardships, never once hated her home, but rather the one who leads it. I hope you can honor my mother's pure heart. He nods vigorously at my words while crying. I then turn around and gaze at the crucified 30 in front of me with a very menacing smile. Though I felt someone missing. Wait, I did forget a certain someone. I scanned through the group of people. I saw a 5'4" tall woman. She was around 27 years old. Her eyes are quivering a lot more than the others, her hands shaking, her hair is standing up. This chick, it's her. Eileen. That bitch who dropped me at birth. No wonder she's shaking so much. I squint my eyes as I smile at her, our eyes meet. FWOO. I, Soru, right in front of her and grab her by the throat. Remember me, darling, I ask her while she starts crying in fear. Geppo. I pop the air with her still in my hand. After 20 seconds I reach a decent height. I am now floating around 500 meters in the air with Eileen. Held firmly in my right hand's grasp. She struggled in my grip, tossing and turning with her legs, quite the nuisance. I increase my grip strength as she stops flailing and looks into my eyes with tears of fear. She meets my gaze. I see a mix of emotions, fear, hate, sorrow, anger, despair, sadness. I can't help but smile as I see her plead for her pitiful life. I bring her closer and whisper into her little ear. Bon voyage, bitch. I let go. Kya. Her cry echoed through the empty skies as she struggled against the blasting wind, descending to her inevitable doom. Quote. Ah. Splatter. Splattering all over the ground, leaving a puddle of fresh blood and messed up flesh. I landed on the platform once more and then focuses on the 30 shaken men. Heck, some of them even lost control of their bladders, leaving behind yellow stream that trickled down their quivering legs. As for you all, I squint my eyes as a crimson glint flashes in my eyes. Hashi. Drain them of their life force for 7 days. A day for every year my mother spent scavenging for food and struggling with her illness. I dropped the verdict. I gaze at the people once more. Consider this mercy. FWOOOO. I, Soru. Out of there as the wooden posts start siphoning the life force from the 30 men as they try to cry in excruciating pain. In 7 days' time, all that is left of them would be shriveled corpses, reduced to the bones. A very painful process, having your skin wither, your nails crack and fall off, your bone weakens, your blood to clot, your throat tightens, all the while your eyes slowly lose vision as the nerves are reduced to atoms. A while later, I was, Soru-ing, northwards and came upon a familiar landscape. It was near the cliff I escaped from, a sorrow-inducing sight that was obscured by a prompt in my ears. Warning, devil fruit detected. Warning. A notification popped up as a yellow beacon was pointing to the sky as I whizzed over to it. Thud. I landed on the ground as I saw the large tree in front of me. It was a fruit tree. Though an imposter was present among the many fruits. Its size was the same as the rest, but the color was something else. A dark green fruit with light green swirls printed all over it. I walked up and plucked it from the tree and saw another notification light up. Human fruit, model, dryad. Zone fruit, mythical type. Fruit rating, allows user to transform into a dryad. The user gains the ability to become immune to any illness while greatly increasing lifespan, body functions and overall bodily capabilities. Allows user to also control and converse with nature. Quote. Sigh. I mean, I know the theory of fruit reincarnation and all, but I suppose I was trying to forget it subconsciously. I went through 7 years of training. Nature kept me company, but I never went back home. I was afraid. It would make my resolve crumble as I might despise myself. What if I didn't grow complacent of my second chance? What if I used my time to train and have had reached a level where I could have escaped with my mother? What if I didn't comply with her words and got food myself and looked after her rather than the other way around? Why me, a useless reincarnator, got the chance to live while a loving and kind soul like my mother died? Is this the fate of the weak? I ask in my head, lost in thought. Though a feminine voice interrupts my thoughts. Indeed, Damien, you must know that anything can be done with enough strength. Something you lacked, and your mother ended up dying from it. But you must always remember your mother's words. Live Damien. Live. Your goal is assigned and accepted, but you must be the one to actually vie for it to ever mean something. Sometimes it's a worse fate to survive than it is to die. Because the only thing left behind is sorrow and regret, rather than a clump of hair and withering bones. But at the end of a storm is a sunny morning, all you have to do is make it through the night. And now's the time you make a choice, to be strong and to persist, or to be weak and wallow in despair. The choice is yours. Her words ended as if she were waiting on standby to see what I'd choose to do. I stood there for a few minutes as I took a deep breath. Flu asterisk. The oxygen cleared my mind as I focused on the now rather than the past. Foo asterisk. I exhale from my mouth as my eyes are glued to the green fruit in my hands. I clench my right hand hard enough for drops of blood to drip out. Mom struggled through hell for 7 years and died for me. I failed her for 7 years. A determined glint flashes in my eyes as I continue my words. I won't fail her ever again. My voice echoed through the forest as a loud sound was heard. Rumble. The ground shook as nature itself emerged out and wrapped around me in a loving embrace. Trees, grass, vines, branches, they all flooded out from beneath and projected an image of a woman holding a child in her arms, with a loving smile on her face. All the while the blood on my palm disappeared and the small wound healed from the nature energy radiating off the sight before me. My mother will always be with me, protecting me from my own darkness. I smiled slightly as I stored the fruit into my inventory. One day I will reach the apex. Never again shall I yield to the unfairness and injustice of this world. For only with enough strength can I ever be truly free. There weren't any witnesses that heard his declaration, but the world will soon shake as he makes his way to the top, never to submit to fate nor destiny. What Damien didn't know that at his declaration, a certain flow of energy started building up within his soul. A warm current, whirling around, waiting to burst out from the final worries that imprison it. A few shackles left to be broken, before a new man can reborn. Chapter 10. The sun dawned upon a youth in the woods. The wind was quite pleasant as it pushed back his black hair. The crimson strands dancing in the morning sun. A tall boy, with a strong and powerful body, sat in the middle of a clearing within the moist woods. Eyes shut, his every breath seemed to cause a small vortex as air raged into his lungs. His heartbeat was barely 10 beats a minute. Every inch of his body seemed to have grown with nature. Birds, squirrels, wolves, lions, and thousands of other animals were sitting around him. Some eating, some chatting, some sleeping. A woo, hoo-hee-ha-ah, reet, neigh, roar, ssssss's tilde. Many voices chatted about, rather odd from afar though. The youth who had essentially become a beacon for all these animals finally opened his eyes as his crimson pupils shined bright. A year has passed since I purged the filth, he whispers to himself. Damien Pav, Sybil, show me my stats. I tell the voice in my head. Coming right up, she hummed. I D. Damien, age, 14, height, 8 feet 4, status, healthy, strength. Quasi-Yonko commander, Damien approximately equals crocodile. A.N. Do recall Yonko commander is not category level or something, go check Ox for more info. A.N. Croco was hella nerfed in Alabasta. He was holding back Daffy in Marineford, no way he was as weak to be beaten by a virgin Luffy. Devil fruit. Pulverize fruit, peak basic mastery. Seastone resistance. 36%. A.N. Seastone resistance increases at an exponential rate as his body grows more and more used to it. Skills. Disease immunity, rapid regeneration, max superhuman vitality, voice of all things, persona max, fruit sensor max, concentrated breathing, constant primitive rokushiki art, observation hockey, low intermediate mastery, armament hockey, low intermediate mastery. Points balance. 9,900 SP, upgraded some skills while also got some back from miscellaneous quests. Less than rewards pending from completed quests greater than equals less than greater than equals less than. Not bad at all. I can take on practically everyone before the new world by now, excluding the outliers of course. Show me the quest log. Hi. Quest log. Reach Yonko Crew Pirate. Rewards. 4,900 SP completed. Reach Quasi Yonko Commander. Rewards. 5,900 SP completed. Unlock Observation Hockey. Rewards. 3,000 SP completed. Unlock Armament Hockey. Rewards. 3,000 SP completed. Avenge Your Mother Rewards. Skill, Navigation, Counts Regal Attire completed. I had yet to claim any quests as I liked the satisfaction from collected all of them together. What's up with that last quest? I asked her. Sybil replied, the system sometimes generates a quest that you yourself wish to complete from the deeper parts of your heart. So if anything, the quest was made by you. I nod in understanding. Of course I won't turn down a free reward. Go ahead and claim them all. I give the order. 5 quests complete. Rewards. 16,800 SP. Navigation skill has been learned. Counts Regal Attire has been moved to inventory. New balance. 26,700 SP. Sweet. And I got a skill. But for now I can do that. I nod with a mischievous smile. Over the year I had made acquaintance with some docile and friendly animals, but some outright rejected my hand and tried to kill me. Due to that, my training area had become a small hub for these friendly animals, though they were only chilling and whatnot. But with this ability, evolve my voice of all things skill, Sybil, I instruct my trusty system. There's that creepy smile of yours again, she said. Voice of all things, greater than, ancient voice, all simple-minded animals shall do your bidding. This includes mammals, reptiles, amphibians, birds, and even sea kings. Weak-willed humans too shall submit to your orders while others may sway slightly. Stronger effect on zone users. Remaining balance. 1700 SP. As soon as the notification dropped I felt a change. Something beyond anything I have felt before. It wasn't loud like the vote. It wasn't odd like hockey. It was as if a new understanding entered my mind. I felt superior. Above all else. Not in strength, but in my voice. My vocal cords were vibrating like an instrument as a warm heat emitted from them. I had my eyes closed as I felt the new ability. After a few minutes, I opened them and looked around. All the animals were gazing into my eyes. They stopped what they were doing and just waited. The ones on the trees jumped to the ground, making sure their eye level was below mine. They were waiting in patience. Waiting for me to instruct them. Ahem. Continue as you wish, I said. Though I didn't feel any different, it wasn't the same for the others. Any text encased with double braces are referring to his ancient voice. Harry the hummingbird Pav. I was chatting to Ollie the owl, near the interesting human. We were chatting until I felt something odd. It was like my mind was telling me to hush. My instincts were flaring, like my ancestor was telling me to yield. As if raising my voice or flapping my wings would be blasphemous to Mother Nature. A voice in my head told me to fall to the ground and yield. I looked at the human. No, the great one. I flew to the ground and simply waited. Waited for his words. No matter what they were, I would follow them through. If he asked me to fly in a volcano, I would do it with great joy. If he asked me to become his lunch, I would be honored. If he asked me to fight a titan, then I would put all my heart to it. And it wasn't just me, all the other animals too did the same. We waited for his words. No matter what they were. We waited. Damien Pav. Apart from reigning over the simple-minded and the weak-willed, I also felt something else. It was like a force building up in my soul. Like a giant sea of water being held back by a weakening dam, begging to burst through. I wanted to release it, but was lacking something, an idea. A will, a worry, whatever it was very close to bursting forth, but needed one more push. Well, that aside, I am feeling quite content with my situation. FWOOOOO. I took in a breath of fresh air to calm my mind. Phew. I exhaled all the air, practically causing a small blast of air due to the absurd amount of CO2 removed. I did a few stretching and ran to the southern end of the island. You see, I finally found where in the world I was. Over the year I met a very rare species of mammals. They were cats, but with wings. According to Sybil, the winged catastrophes are only found in the West and the North Blue Seas. So with that I narrowed it down to the outer seas. And then 6 months ago I found the needed clue to come to a conclusion. I was on my way back to the wooden house I lived with my mother. Since the day of me finding the fruit I had overcome my worries. So yeah, I went here and there and found a diary. My mom logged her days, especially after my father arrived. It seems that he mentioned to her about the 4 seas and the Grand Line. He said that he traveled to the West and the East Blue before entering the Grand Line. And since then he had returned to meet some family. Capsized ship in a marine chase and ended up here. And that was enough for me to know that I was somewhere in the West Blue. Going over my work I started devising a plan. You know, you could have just used that map of surrounding islands item you got from the beginner's gift pack, right? Sybil said. I paused in my steps. Quote. Damn it. Use the damn map, I tell her with annoyance. A blue screen came to my mind as I saw all the landmass within a 100 kilometers radius. I analyzed the map. Seems like this island is roughly 60 kilometers across. Quite small, and there are some smaller islands nearby. Well, I suppose it helps a bit. I am in the West Blue, so going east is probably the best option. Closer to the Grand Line is closer to more developed islands. I conclude. Now I just have one more place to visit on this island. I mutter. I had upgraded my fruit sensor skill to max and yet I have yet to get a single fruit apart from my mother's one. Then I remembered that the village doesn't even know what fruits are. Thus I knew that the fruits have most probably either been pillaged or taken away by the remaining black-haired tribesmen. The dark side of the forest is on the south end of the island. The place I am heading in. Skill. Fruit sensor max will alert the user if devil fruits are present within 5 kilometers in radius. Only displays uneaten fruits, so I can sense within a 10 kilometers wide circle, should be enough to find them. After traveling a bit, I land on the ground, before the dark side. 2 guards with black hair are standing guard as they are alerted from my arrival. Halt. Guarda yells. I wave my left hand in front of their faces and said, do you have any odd-shaped fruits in your home? Both guards relax and stand still. Yes. A few have been gathered by the chief. I didn't need to wave my hand, but I felt like a true Jedi, so yeah. Take me there. I instructed them. Yes. They say in unison with a dull voice as they guided me in. A few tribesmen look in our direction but soon lose interest. After all, my hair does match theirs, well, somewhat. Ding. I hear a ding in my head as I look into the sky around 4 kilometers away. I saw a few beacons lighting up. As an FYI, the beacons are color-coded. The blue is when you set a point from the map. A yellow is a zone, orange, a paramesha, and a red refers to a logia. Sybil tells me. Nodding my head, I count 5 yellows, 4 oranges and even 1 red. We eventually arrive in front of the chief's house. 6 guards race out, weapons drawn. I could just pulverize the place, but I don't want to destroy the fruits. I look at the 6. Bring me the fruits your chief has within. They relax their guards and rush in, heeding my orders. 3 minutes later, 10 fruits are laid on top of a tree stump before me. Before I could analyze them, a rude voice interjected. What are you doing with my precious fruits? A black-haired geezer pops out with a large sword in his hand. I look at him with disinterest. Point the sword at your heart. His face grows confused as he does as told. Now drive it right through. I tell him. Wait. His hands push into his chest. Alongside the blade, he drops dead before he could even complete his cry. Sat. I look at the fruits and have their descriptions drawn up. Zone. Normal types. Rodent fruit. Model squirrel. Insect fruit. Model Siphonoptera flea. Ox fruit. Model cow. Snake fruit. Model rattlesnake. Bird fruit. Model hummingbird. Paramesha. Tape fruit. Shoot out tapes from your elbows. Weed fruit. Control the weeds nearby. Smell fruit. Control the odorants in the air. Nail fruit. Control the nails in users' hands and feet. Zoom zoom fruit. Allow user to zoom in onto any object. Logia. Ice fruit. Allows the user to create, control, and transform into ice at will. Trash zone. Trash paramesha. As for the logia. Quote exclamation mark quote. My jaws drop as I wipe my eyes, wondering if my mind was playing tricks on me. I pause for a second and look at the light blue fruit with dark blue swirls. Quote This fruit. It's the same one Aokiji is meant to eat. To think it would be here. One of the most powerful devil fruits in the world. Ice fruit, he no mi. Logia fruit, elemental type. Fruit rating, star. Allows the user to create, control, and transform into ice at will. Allows user to practically negate the greatest weakness to fruit users, water. Though lacking in overall destructive power, it makes up for it by controlling a powerful element. User becomes an ice human. Now this is what you call a steal. I throw the fruits in my inventory and begin heading west. I can recycle the useless fruits you got for SP if you'd like, Damien. She offers. Really? Get rid of all except the dryad and the ice fruit. I say with joy. Roger that. 9 fruits recycled. 5 normal zones x 500 SP. 3 1-star paramesha x 200 SP. 3 2-star paramesha x 500 SP equals 4600 SP gained. New balance. 6300 SP. Nice, I comment while seeing my new balance. A while later, thud, I land onto the western shore and gaze at the calm sea before me. After 14 years I am finally taking my first step to the sea. I say with a great smile. Congratulations Damien boy, nice bro, you did it, I am so proud of you. You are already a man tilde come give Oni-san a warm hug. Begun, your journey has. With you, may the tides be. Alas, the seas. Go, my boy, let my people go. Many voices echo in my head as the trees and other friends give my their goodbyes. Your consciences are connected to all of your kind, so I'm sure we'll speak again. I waved at my immobile friends. I then hear many footsteps walking towards me. A large horde of animals arrives before me. All the animals silently look at me. Be free, little friends. I hope you all take care of each other. I tell them. AWOOOO. Roar. Nay. Who. They all cry out as they give their goodbyes. I look at the sea once more and send out a single thought. Come pick me up. My thoughts echo through the endless blue as the seas begin to shake. Splash. Hundreds of sea kings rise from the water and gaze at me. The king has called. A different king. No, he is stronger. I want the Lord's babies. We answer your request, great one. Hundred of thoughts enter my ears as each one of them roars out. A few too many but. Which one of you can take me to the nearest island to the reverse mountain? I ask them. Roar. Let this one take you. A green, Loch Ness monster, like Sea King answer. I admire his jade-colored scales and walk onto his back. Start swimming. I order him. The rest of you, keep an eye out for nearby ships. I say to the rest. Yes. They all respond in great joy, happy to serve me. Who needs an army when you have these guys? I chuckle with a wry smile. Nice work Damien. Your journey has finally begun. Sybil says with some ounces of joy in her tone. Hee. Indeed. The first step to reaching the top. I give out a big smile as we sail onwards with great speed.